Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Jimmy Ludwig.
My name is Mark Aldrich.
And we are the Happy Hour guys. And welcome back to Rattle N Hum West.
We're at Rattle N Hum East.
We're at Rattle N Hum.
East, west, we go all around the town. We've got a trolley. Welcome back to Craft Couch at Rattle N Hum East and West. And this is the East versus West event. We talked to so many brewers that night, we realized the only way to get them together was to arrange them geographically. So let's start north and work our way south. First, the great state of Maine.
Please, your names and your positions. I'll start with you.
Willis Croninger, I'm the production manager at Baxter Brewing Company, Lewiston, Maine.
Wow, a lot of Maine coming up this evening. I love it. And you, sir?
Ben Lowe, I'm the Director of Brewing Operations at Baxter Brewing.
Margaret Ware, marketing at Maine Beer Company.
Maine Beer Company, one of our favorite places in the universe. Freeport, Maine, yes?
Yes.
The area sales manager for Allagash Brewing Company.
Allagash.
We've been around for just over 5 years. It's been a crazy journey. Our first year we brewed 5,000 barrels, which turns out was the most a brewery in the U.S. had ever brewed in its first year.
Wow.
And this year we're on track to brew somewhere around 23,000 barrels, so it's been rapid, exciting growth.
In 5 years, you've more than quadrupled. That's unbelievable. Tell me a little bit about what kind of beers you brew.
Well, we've got 3 year-round beers. Our flagship is Stowaway IPA. We also have California Common Lager. It's called Tarnation. And Pomola Session Pale.
When we come in and stop in, what are we going to see?
You're going to see a 150-year-old mill building, which is where the brewery is, with a 30-barrel brew house. It's definitely a production brewery. 2 canning lines. We've canned all of our beer from the very beginning. We do have a tasting room. It's small, but it works. We do a lot of pilot brews out of there, and it's a fun time.
We have 2 mirrored canning lines. We do 12-ounce 6-packs, and we do limited edition 16-ounce 4-packs as well. Mm-hmm. We also do some 12-packs. We got a variety 12-pack and a pale ale 12-pack as well.
We have to give you props for jumping right to canning because we're huge advocates for it. We think it's better, as you know, best for the beer and best for the environment. How long have you been distributing to New York City? How new is that for you?
It's just under a year and a half, so pretty new.
So this was an important market for you to get into?
Definitely. It's a very different market from the other places we are. A lot more interest in limited edition things, so that's awesome. It gets the creative juices flowing. So tonight we have on a coffee dunkel that we did that was actually our first limited edition draft only brew. So
this series is sort of based in, it's about New York, it's about what the craft industry is like here in New York and how much it's changed over the last couple of years. So being able to talk to guys like you about what it's like to come into the New York market is one of the things we talk about a lot. What thing has changed in craft that you didn't see coming? And I'll start with you.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing that really makes me happy is New York loves lagers. And that makes me happy, man.
Yeah,
We've got a hoppy pilsner coming down the pipeline really soon. Like I said, the Tarnation, it's our main lager. And I love that beer. It's one of my favorite beers that we brew. And it makes me excited to see that people are drinking lagers right now.
we were at the Craft Brewers Conference in Philadelphia last week.
Have you recovered yet?
No. We were in the back in the brewery for one day yesterday, kind of got things put back together, and then came right down here for this.
You've been on the road a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy. But at the Craft Brewers Conference, one thing that was really clear is with the explosion in craft breweries, there is a lot of new equipment out there because it's viable for some of the big equipment manufacturers to make stuff for small or mid-sized breweries like us. So I think you're going to see a lot of the quality in craft beer improving as brewers like us have access to better equipment that we can actually afford.
These seem like guys that will do what they need to do to keep their fans happy. So it's so nice to meet you both, man. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's our pleasure. What an amazing place you guys have. Tell us a little bit about your history and your ethic, that sort of thing.
Sure. Dave and Dan Cleban, the owners, founded it in 2009. They started brewing beer in their garage. Basically, from the start, they went with the do what's right motto. They want to give back to the environment, give back to local nonprofits, and be really good to their employees while making a quality beer.
And that is your motto, do what's right. It's all over the brewery. It's emblazoned everywhere. And we think it is so cool. It's part of what we love about the whole craft beer industry, which is the whole idea of always giving back?
We pledge each year for 1% for the planet to give back 1% of our gross sales.
Tell us about the tokens in the tap room, because this is such a cool thing.
Our tokens, every time you tip in the tap room, you get a token. All our tips go to charity, and you get to actually take the token and choose what charity you'd like it to go to. So we have the Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund, the Maine Bicycle Coalition, Allied Whale, Center for Wildlife, and we let our patrons actually pick which charity is meaningful to them.
How long has it been since you guys have been distributing to New York City?
I'm not positive.
Probably a while, I imagine.
Yeah, a few years at least. We love New York City. We love the ability to send beer outside of Maine and get it to other people who haven't tried it. Have them learn our message, what we're about. So we definitely love New York City. Maine Beer Company is the most amazing place to work, and I get to drink the most amazing beer every day.
You really do. I mean, you kind of landed right in an amazing spot. What about the craft industry didn't you know that you love?
I had no idea how coveted some beers are, like Dinner or Hill Farmstead beers, or how crazy people get and wait in line for beer. I had no idea until getting into this that people wait in line for beer, and that's amazing.
For days,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's pretty incredible to get to try all those beers and like get what it's about and understand, and it's pretty cool.
Tell us about what's coming up for you guys.
Oh yeah, we have our hop program series. Right now I'm drinking a beer 2 that's part of the series. We have beer 1, 2, 3, and 4. All the beers are dedicated to a different animal from the Center for Wildlife. So if you see one of the beers in a bottle, you can read about the animal on the back of the bottle, learn about the Center for Wildlife. They're doing a great thing for animals in Maine right now.
I think if there's a brewery in the United States that should be designated for sainthood, it's Maine Beer Company, because these guys, I mean, they do it right, and they do what's right. It's amazing to see. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
And thanks for being here. Cheers. Oh my God, Allagash, we love you guys. Maine, right?
Absolutely, Portland, Maine.
Maine was well established in craft. You guys kind of helped set the bar in that part of the country.
A lot of great breweries all over the East Coast, West Coast. I think innovation-wise, we took some leaps and some bounds and did some experimentation, but a lot of great beer in Maine, and certainly we're not the first brewery there. Our cul-de-sac alone, where the brewery's located, Geary's, has been there for a long time.
But you have a cool ship.
We do have a cool ship. We put that in 2006. Yeah.
So can you explain to our audience what a cool ship is?
So a cool ship is actually a vessel that we brew beer in that is sort of the way Belgians used to do it several hundred years ago. So it's kind of a gamble. We didn't know if we had the microbes in the air to do it, and we did, so we feel pretty fortunate.
How important was it for you guys to distribute to the New York market? I know you've been here a long time, but is it an important market for you?
Absolutely. You could argue that it's our most important market. California, Chicago, Boston, and New York are our top 4 markets, and we're always sort of neck and neck in terms of who's number 1 or who's growing the fastest, but all 4 markets are crucial to our business, and I think we still get some love and appreciation on the East Coast. I don't know that we're local, but we're certainly regional.
I think a lot of people, especially in the New York area and the Boston area, have a real sort of love affair with Maine. So anything that comes out of Maine, there's a great love for.
I feel the same way. I'm not a true Mainer. I do work for the brewery, so whenever we go up for sales meetings, I feel pretty fortunate, and even if it's negative 15 degrees. So. One thing I wanted to mention is we've got a beer coming out. It's launching as we speak, honestly. It's called 16 Counties. It's a strong golden ale. It's available on draft and in the large cork finish 750 milliliter format only. And 16 Counties is a reference to the amount of counties in Maine.
There are only 16 counties in Maine?
Absolutely right. Some of them are gigantic and some of them are not. But all the grain is being sourced from local Maine farmers, and so it's a nod and a reference to the 16 counties of Maine. And we've been really big with philanthropy, so it's just an extension of that program that we've been doing since day one.
So we got those things to look forward to from Allagash Brewing in Maine. So glad to have you, man. Thanks for stopping by. You bet. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, stay tuned for much more to come from the Craft Couch world and the East versus West event. We got more states to cover. We'll see you next time. Cheers.